So this class is going to be super slow and relaxing. We're going to really get into the hips and twist. So it's perfect for just before bed, or if you really need that little detox for yourself. So all we really need is a mat and ourselves. And if you want to have a block, then you can do. But I hope you really enjoy this class. And if you like it, then please give us a like and leave us any comments below. And please subscribe to our channel for more to come. Thank you so much. So we're going to start this class in child's pose. So we'll take our knees out wide, our feet can stay together, and then just start to bring those hands out in front and taking that forehead down towards the mat. And just starting to sink into those hips and opening up through the shoulders and the chest. I'd like you to close your eyes here. Just really starting to feel the ground underneath the body, underneath the hands, underneath the knees, the tops of the feet, the forehead. Feeling the earth holding you. Starting to take a big inhale through the nose. Feeling the ribs expand out into the room. And then exhale, sinking down. And again, big inhale here. Finding that space in the back. And exhale. One more time, inhale. And exhale. You can slowly rock your head side to side so you're massaging a bit between your eyebrows, releasing that frown, relaxing all the muscles in the face. And then from here, you're going to look up between your hands and slide all the way onto your belly, staying nice and low to the ground. And then once we get there, taking our hands underneath our shoulders and pushing the tops of the feet into the mat and using that lower back strength, we start to lift the chest, finding our cobra. So gentle pressure in the hands, little back bend, inhale, nothing too strenuous. And exhale, coming back down. Forehead comes down towards the mat. Inhale, lifting back up. Nice and slow. And exhale, back down, forehead down. One more time. Inhale, lifting, gentle pressure in the hands. And exhale, back down. From here, we're going to take our forearms out in front, so the shoulders are over the top of the elbows and the forearms straight out in front. Hands pressing down. You can use those fingers and gripping into the mat, pulling towards our elbows to lift that chest up. Keeping our legs nice engaged. The core is turned on. Drawing the shoulders down. Finding our seal pose. Our Sphinx pose. Inhale here. And stay as we exhale. And then nice and slowly coming back down onto the belly, bringing the hands underneath the chest, pushing through our hands and our knees, taking ourselves back to our child's pose. Sinking here. A little rock side to side, might feel nice in the hips and the shoulders. And then from here we're going to inhale, shift forwards, finding our tabletop position. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Moving through our cat-cows, we inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest. And exhale, rounding the back, pushing the hands into the mat. Finding the space between the vertebrae. And again, inhale, dropping the belly, lifting the chest. Moving through it super slowly. Exhale, rounding the back. Just winding down. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Coming back to that neutral tabletop position. From here, we're going to inhale, lift the right arm up, opening up towards the right. And exhale, we're going to thread that hand all the way through underneath, reaching underneath and then coming onto the outside of that shoulder. Making sure that that left hip is drawing back so it's not falling forwards. And starting to push that left hand in front of the face to start to open up through that upper back. Inhaling here. And exhale to stay. It feels quite nice to walk the top hand all the way up to the top of the mat, coming onto the fingertips, bridging onto that hand, opening up through that upper back. Inhaling here. Exhale, settling into this pose. And then nice and slowly walking that hand back in front of the face. We inhale, push into that hand to open up one more time towards the right. And exhale, bring the hand back down. One more round of cat-cow. We inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest. Exhale, rounding the back. Neutral spine as we move through the other side. We inhale, lift the left arm up. Exhale, threading that hand all the way through underneath as far as we can take it, and then coming onto the outside of that shoulder, bringing the side of the head down. Using that right hand this time, just gentle pressure into the mat to twist up through that upper body. Again, if you want to take that variation to walk the hands up towards the top of the mat, rolling that shoulder back. And again, those hips don't fall over towards the right, they draw back, stacking over the knees. Inhaling here, and exhale. And again, inhale. And exhale, you can close your eyes at any time. And then nice and slowly bringing that right hand back in front of the face. Your next inhale, we push into the hand to open up one more time towards the left. And exhale, bringing the hand back down. From here, nice and strong through the arms, we tuck the back toes under, floating the knees, lifting the hips to find our downward dog. You can have a bend in your legs. Really pushing those hands into the mat, almost like your hands and your feet are trying to split the mat in two. Finding that length through the spine. Your head is nice and released. Inhale. And exhale. We inhale, shift forwards, high plank position. Shoulders over the wrists. Exhale, take it back. Downward dog. And again, inhale, shift forwards, high plank. Exhale, take it back, downward dog. Inhale, high plank position, squeezing the core. Exhale, taking it back to our downward facing dog. From here, we're going to inhale, lift the right leg up high. Exhale, step the foot to the outside of the right hand. And we drop the back knee down. You can untuck the back toes. Starting to push those hips forwards first, lifting the chest, finding our lizard pose. Then from here, we're going to turn the right toes out 45 degrees and flexing that foot as much as we can, starting to roll onto the outside blade of that right foot and letting that knee fall out wide. Starting to feel it in that outer hip a little bit more. You can stay here. Or you can use that right hand to just gently press that knee away. Opening up through the chest. Twisting. You can just stay here. Or if you want to take the variation where we lift the back leg and take a hold of that back foot with that right hand, you can do. It's not necessary. We're really focusing on that right outer hip. Inhaling where we are. And exhaling. It can feel quite nice to tilt the head over towards that left shoulder, finding that stretch through the outside of the neck. If we have a hold of that foot, we just slowly release it back down and bringing that hand back underneath the shoulder, tucking the back toes under, lifting the back knee, and everyone slowly stepping back to our downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. Other side, we inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, step the foot to the outside of the left hand, drop the back knee down and untucking the toes. Starting first to pushing those hips forwards, lifting the chest. And you can start to feel the top of the back foot pushing into the mat, and that will just activate that leg and that front hip flexor a little bit more. You can stay here if this feels nice. Or maybe we can start to turn that left toes out 45 degrees, flexing the foot and rolling onto the outside blade of that footing, letting that knee fall out wide. Inhaling here to start with. And stay as we exhale. You can use that left hand to just gently press the knee away and starting to open up through the chest. Finding that twist as well. That gaze can maybe come towards the back. You can take the variation where we float the back leg and taking a hold of the foot. But wherever we are, take a big inhale. And you can let the head fall over towards that right shoulder. Closing the eyes if that feels nice. Slowly releasing the foot if you have it, and everybody bringing that hand back down underneath the shoulder, tucking the back toes, and we step that front leg all the way back to our downward dog. Start to walk through the feet. Finding the opening through the back, lifting one heel as we drop the other. And then from here, we're going to inhale, lift the right leg up again. And then exhale, stepping the foot through between the hands. And we keep the back knee lifted this time. We inhale, bend nice and deep into the front leg, lifting the chest. And then exhale, straightening the front leg as we forward fold, finding our pyramid. Inhale, shift forwards, bend the leg, lift the chest. And exhale, taking it back. And again, inhale. And exhale. This time we inhale, shift forwards, bend the leg. We're going to lower the back knee down. And then from here, we're going to toe heel that right foot all the way over towards the left. And flexing that foot, we start to take that right knee over towards the right hand, finding our pigeon pose. And you can have any angle you want here, so that right foot might be a little bit closer towards that left hip, or maybe it's even parallel with the top of the mat. But wherever we are, we tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and finding a little bit more space as we take that back kneecap just a little bit further back. Making sure both hips are square so that right hip is drawing back. Inhaling here. And stay as we exhale. Now if this feels too uncomfortable for you, I'll just show you another variation, which is where we find it on our back. And we have that left leg bent and that right ankle crosses over the left knee, and we push that right knee away and start to lift the left knee, finding that reclined figure four. It's exactly the same stretch for that right outer hip. So you can take that variation now, or you still maybe in your pigeon pose. Inhaling here and exhale. You can walk the hands out in front, You can come down onto your forearms if that feels okay. We're closing our eyes wherever we are, sinking into this deep hip stretch. As we inhale, we lift and we fill the body with air. And as we exhale, we sink a little bit deeper into the stretch. Inhale, send the breath to that outer right hip. And exhale, let yourself release into it, finding a bit more depth. Staying with this now, eyes closed, focus on sending that breath to the stretch. Our next inhale, we'll walk our hands back to our shin, and if we're on our back, we'll find ourselves meeting everyone back in our downward dog. Finding our downward dog. Walking through the heels, feel a difference from one hip to the other. And then moving through the other side, we inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, step the foot through between the hands, keeping that back knee lifted. And again, bending nice and deep into the front leg, letting those hips sink down as we lift the chest up. Inhale. And then exhale, straighten the front leg as we forward fold into our pyramid, opening up through the backs of the legs, the hamstrings, the calves. And again, inhale, shift forwards, low lunge. Exhale, take it back. And again, inhale. And exhale. This time we inhale, shift forwards, lowering the back knee, untucking the toes. And then again, we toe heel that foot all the way over to the right hand this time, flexing the foot as much as possible first, and then taking the knee down so the shin comes down. And again, if you want to take that variation where we come on our back, we can do so. Or if we're here, we tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, maybe find a little bit more space with that back kneecap. Making sure the hips are nice and square. We inhale here, lift the chest, finding space. And then exhale, we sink down into this pigeon pose. You can walk your hands out in front. Coming down onto the forearms if that feels okay. You can even bring the forehead down. But wherever we are, if we're here or if we're on our backs, we close our eyes and we just focus on sending that breath to that left outer hip this time. Making sure the foot is nice and flexed, protecting that knee. We inhale and exhale. Through these deeper stretches, it's even more important to have that breath really long. So we stay nice and controlled with that breath. Staying with this now, just a few more breaths. And then when you're ready, walking the hands back up. From here, we're going to roll onto the outside of that left hip and bringing both legs out in front. So if you're on our back, we're just meeting in this seated position. Legs out in front. You can start to just take away those nice little fleshy bits from underneath as we sit onto the sit bones. You can flex the feet. We inhale, lift the arms up overhead, finding space before we fold. Exhale, reaching the arms out as far as they can go in front, keeping that spine nice and long. And then forward fold over the legs. Just let the hands fall down by the legs. This can be a really passive forward fold if this feels nice. So let the feet fall out wide, relaxing all the muscles in the leg, and just let the body hang over those legs. Even let the neck loose, let the head hang, let the spine be round. Nice long breaths here. Inhale, lift slightly. Exhale, find a little bit more depth. If you know you want to have a bit more of a active forward fold, you can take a hold of the ankles or the shins or even the feet, and then flexing the feet to activate the legs. We inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine, and then exhale, pulling with those hands to actively draw ourselves closer towards our legs. Inhale here and exhale. So whichever variation you're in, we inhale, slightly lift, and exhale, we deepen into the fold. From here, we'll just slowly release the grip if we're holding on to something. And then we roll nice and slowly back up to a seated position. And then planting our feet out in front. You can scoot those hips towards the heels as we roll all the way down onto our backs. Just as we're going nice and slowly, we'll do a little back bend. Nothing too strenuous here. Coming into our bridge pose. So making sure that those heels are just behind the hips. And if you want to skip this altogether, that's fine. You can just pick up after we've done this. And from here, we're going to inhale, push the feet into the mat to lift the hips up high. If you want to come into a supported bridge pose, you can bend the arms at the elbows, obviously, and taking those hands underneath the hips, the lower back, and letting those hips rest onto the hands. So your forearms and your elbows are like pillars holding yourself up. Inhaling here. Stay as we exhale. And if you have a block at hand, you can also place the block underneath your lower back for a supported bridge. Have the eyes closed, focusing on that breath, making sure the knees don't fall out wide. The neck is nice and long. And if we're in a supported bridge, we'll just gently start to activate the legs, to lift the hips up a little bit higher, to release either the block or the hands underneath. And then everyone inhale, come onto the toes, lift the hips, and then exhale, roll down the spine till we come all the way down onto our backs. From here, we'll tick-tock the knees side to side, releasing through the lower back. Windscreen wipers with the legs. And we'll do a nice passive spinal twist. So we'll bring the right knee into our chest and let the left leg go out long. Squeeze the knee in to start with. You can gently draw some circles with that knee, with that shin. And then on our next exhale, we guide that knee over towards the left. Our eyes are closed. You can let the right arm go out long. And if it feels okay in the neck, to take that gaze over to that hand. The eyes are closed. Focusing on that breath, sending the breath this time towards that twist through the back. Settling into this twist now. And then when you're ready, our next inhale, we come back through center. Let the right leg go out long, and this time bring the left knee into the chest. Interlacing the hands around the knee to start with. And just start to gently squeeze it in. You can draw some circles. And then we'll slowly take that knee over towards the right this time. Wringing out through the spine, let the left arm go out long. You can take that gaze to that hand. Inhale here. And exhale to stay. His eyes are closed. Finding that meditative breath. Winding down. Wringing out the spine. And then in your own time, rolling back through center. And we'll come to our final resting pose, finding our shavasana, letting both legs go out long. From here we release all of our muscles, so let the legs fall out wide, the palms facing up by our side. I'm sure your eyes are closed already, but if they're not, we close our eyes. And like we did at the beginning, we'll take that big cleansing breath where we breathe in through the nose. And exhale out the mouth, releasing everything out. Really relaxing, letting everything go. And staying here for as long as you want now. And giving yourself this time. Namaste.